this lecture, we will try to understand a component known as list. Unlike choice, what is choice? For example, let me show this one. This is related to choice. There are fruits, apple, grapes, mango. There are some fruits. Out of them, you can select only one. That is, you can select only one. But this is just like, this is list. This is choice. In the case of choice, you can choose any one of them. But whereas in the case of list, you can choose more than one. For example, I have some places in Hyderabad. Just see how many places I have selected. Zoo Park and Golconda Fort. Means if I want to select more than one item, I need list. If I want to select only one item, I need choice. Now, how can I say? Unlike choice, list allows us to select more than one item, more than one item at a time. That is list, isn't it? That is, list allows us to have multiple selections. Means with the help of list, I can make multiple selections. But whereas in the case of choice, only one selection. That's what we are saying. Let me repeat. That is, list allows us to have multiple selections. List adds, what is a list? It adds, list adds. We will demonstrate this concept with the help of simple program. Time being, just let me say, list adds a vertical. It adds a vertical scroll bar. It adds a vertical scroll bar if the number of items, exceeds, let me say, exceeds. This is exceeds, isn't it? Let me repeat. If the number of items exceeds the number of items, the number of items for which it is set to display. What does it mean? It is set to display. It is set to display. I will explain what does it mean. For example, if I set a list for 5 items, but I am keeping more than 5 items, let me say 7 items, in that case it will create a scroll bar like this. Just see, it will create a vertical scroll bar. You can scroll it so that you can see the list of items. Anyway, we will see with the help of a simple program. List adds a vertical scroll bar if the number of items exceeds number of items for which it is set to display. Optionally, I can say, optionally, list can be made. List can be made for single selection also. How will it be? We will try to understand. List component can generate. It can generate. As I told you, list is a component. It can be you can keep in a container like frame, isn't it? List component can generate. This can generate both. It can generate both item event. item event, and action event, item event and action event, item event and action event. Item event is generated. What is the item event? Item event is generated for single mouse click. For single mouse click. This particular event can be generated for single mouse click. Item event is generated for a single mouse click, and action event. This action event is generated for a double click. It can be generated for a double click. We will try to understand this with the help of simple program. We will try to demonstrate a program. This program says a visitor selects, let me say visitor select places, select visitor select places he wants to visit. He wants to visit in Hyderabad. Let me say there are different places in Hyderabad. The selection displayed using drawstring method. I already discussed what is drawstring method in my previous lectures. Drawstring method. This is drawstring method of which class? Of graphics class. Just see, by using drawstring method only, there are list of items. That selected items I am displaying. Jew Park is one item. Golconda Fort is another item. I can display the items which are selected by using a method known as drawstring. Anyway, we will try to understand how it works and what is the purpose of this program. This is a simple theory behind list. Just see, it is simple and straightforward program. Imports. These are different packages which we were discussing from previous past few lectures. This is class space. My class name is list demo. Actually, I am keeping my list components on a container. This is container. As I told you, frame is a container. Applet is a container. Sorry, these components can be placed on a container. Therefore, I will place this list component on a frame. I am implementing listeners also, action listener, isn't it? List is a class name, places, list space, class space. It's I can say a variable. Public list demo. What is this list demo? This is a constructor, isn't it? Constructor. Yes. How will we will try to understand? We discussed about this particular layout. What is this set layout? I already discussed all these layouts in my previous classes. The set layout space, new flow. I am using a layout known as flow layout. What is this here? What am I doing? Places. It's a class name is list. Therefore, what am I doing here? List of 5, true. What it does? It creates a list. It creates a list which can display 5 rows. Rows in the sense, in each row I will keep an item. Therefore, it will display 5 items only. It display 5 items only. Even though the list is set, even though the list is set to the list is set to 5 visible rows. 5 visible rows, we can add any number of items. If we can add any number of items, any number of items to whom? To the list. We can add any number of items to the list, and list provides a scroll bar. It provides a scroll bar for viewing the extra items added. This is about list. For example, here I am saying 5, but here I will add first one as Salorjing Museum. Just say second one is Charminar. This is first one. Charminar is second one. And third one is Zoo Park, and fourth one is Golconda Fort, fifth one is Necklace Road, sixth one is Birla Mandir, seventh one is Shilparamam. I am adding 7 items, but I created list for 5 rows. But still you can create a list, in which case a scroll bar will be added. This is simple and straightforward. How it works, we will try to understand. Just see. This is my list name is places. Dot add means it will add. What is my first item in the list? Salorjing Museum. This is first item. I am adding another item, Charminar, second item. Zoo Park, third item. Golconda Fort, fourth item. Necklace Road, fifth item. Birla Mandir, sixth item. Let me say Shilparamam. Shilparamam is my 7th item. As I told you, how many items I added? We added 7 items, but list is created for 5 items. In that case, a vertical scroll bar will be created. That's what we were saying. Just see, this list is created only for 5 items. Just see here, just see, this is only 5, isn't it? But we are adding 7 items. No issue. In that case, what happens? It will create a scroll bar. Just see this one, what it says, places.add action listener. What does it mean? I can say list can generate 2 types of events. List can generate 2 types of events. 2 types of events, isn't it? Action events for double click, action event for double click, action event for double click, action event for double click, and item event for single click. Double click must be registered with action listener. This double click must be registered with action listener. Just see, I am registering with the action listener, isn't it? If I double click that item will get selected. Single clicks are used to select or deselect an item and must be generated with the item listener. Item listener is related to single clicks and your double click is related to action listener. We will try to understand in this particular program. In this program, we are using action listener. What is the how one can make use this action listener? By using double click. This is just action listener for double click, isn't it? Now what it says, just say add places. I am adding places. In places what we have? we have items like I am adding these places. Where am I adding? I am adding all these places to the frame, isn't it? Now, what are the places? Which places do we have here? Just see. Places like Salarjung Museum, Charminar, Zoo Park, Golconda Fort, Necklace Road, Birla Mandir, Shilparam. Isn't it? These are the items which are added in, which are in places. Now I am adding those places to the frame. Set a title, Hyderabad. I am keeping this title. As a title I am keeping Hyderabad and set size 300 by 300 pixel. This is my frame size, isn't it? Set visible true, this we already discussed. That output will be displayed. It is visible. This is another thing, add window listener. What is the use of this window listener? It is simple. It is after getting output, if you add window listener, if you close that window, output window will be closed. Otherwise, if you don't write add window listener, you cannot close output window. Output window means you cannot close that particular frame, isn't it? That's what system.exit 0. This is the code which is useful for closing your output window. Otherwise, you cannot close that output window. Just for example, just see, even if you want to try to close, just see, if I want to try to close with the help of this one, it cannot close. Once if you implement this part, this which one, add window listener, new window adapter. Basically, there is a method system.exit 0. This is the simple code which is useful for closing your output window. Otherwise, your output window you cannot close. Even if you try to close that output window, you cannot close. Anyway, this is another method, public void action performed method, action event E. Whenever you write repaint always calls paint method. Always understand. Anyway, I will discuss what is repaint in my next lecture. Otherwise, let me say like this. The paint method is called, let me say, just let me spend 1 minute here. The paint method, we already discussed about paint method, isn't it? The paint method is called implicitly. The paint method is called implicitly by the JVM, by the Java Virtual Machine, by the JVM for the first time when the frame is created. It will call by the JVM for the first time. That is important. For the first time when the frame is created. When the frame is created. We already discussed this paint method, isn't it? I will repeat. The paint method is called implicitly, means we need not call. It will call by itself implicitly by Java Virtual Machine for first time when the frame is created or when the frame is resized. If the programmer wants to call paint method in the program, he must call. If the programmer, this point is important, not JVM. If the programmer wants to call the paint method, in the program, he must call repaint method. He must call repaint method and not paint method. If he calls paint, if programmer calls paint directly, it is compilation error. What happens if programmer calls paint method directly, what happens? an error will be generated. That is compilation error. Compilation error will be generated. He must call repaint method and not paint method. If he calls paint method directly, it is a compilation error. This is a brief introduction for repaint method. Anyway, just let me proceed further. What it says, once if I call repaint method, in turn, as I told you, it will call paint method. It is related to what it says. There is string. String is a built-in class name. We will spend time on string class also. Names. It's an array of strings. Places dot get selected items. What is this get selected items? This is a method. Get selected item is a method. What will it return? It returns an array of strings. It returns an array of strings. It returns an array of strings of items. Strings of items selected by user. For example, here there are items. Like what are the items here? Salarjung Museum, Charminar, Juhu Park, Golconda Fort, Necklace Road, Birla Mandir, Shilpa Ramam. These are the items. Anyway, all these items where they are in a list known as places. Therefore, this particular method returns an array of strings of items selected by the user. User can select multiple items from this list, isn't it? That items will be returned and it will get stored in an array names. In names of 0, I can find first item. For example, if I select Charminar as a first item, Charminar I can see in names of 0. Second item will get stored in names of 1. Third item will get stored in names of 2. It is simple and straightforward. That is get selected items. Get selected indexes. What is this get selected indexes? Just see. Get selected indexes. What it returns? This method returns an array of integers. Array of integers of items. Integers of items selected by whom? Selected by the user. We will try to understand. Here I have a for loop. This for loop is used to display. What is the purpose of this for loop? This for loop is used to display the items, selected, items in the list, items in the list are counted from 0, just like from 0, like choice, like in choice also they count from 0, isn't it? Like choice, isn't it? We already discussed the difference between choice and list. In the case of list, you can make multiple selections. Anyway, this is about get selected items, get selected indices into y equal to 180, I equal 0, I less than dot, names dot length. What is this names dot length? Once if I select items, for example, names dot length. For example, if I select Charminar and Juhu Park. Therefore, in names of 0, I can have Charminar. In names of 1, I can have Juhu Park. How many names dot length means? In that case, how many items? 2 items, isn't it? In that case, what happens? I equal 0, 0 less than 2. What is this? G dot draw strings, invoice. Just here you can have integer, index of each items. Invoice of I means what? Invoice of 0. In invoice of 0, which one you can have? First item, Charminar, isn't it? Invoice of 0, it's not in a number. Invoice of 0 means 0 plus 1. Therefore, it is 1 names of 0. Names of 0, let me say Charminar. What will you get? You will get 1 colon. I am keeping colon here. 1 colon Charminar. At which place? On frame there is a place 50 comma y. Y means what? 180. In 50 comma 180 position, I will get 1 colon Charminar, like that. Again, I will get incremented by 1. Previous value of I is 0. Now I is 1. I 1 less than 2. Correct. NOS of 1 now. NOS of 1 means what? Second item. Second item index is 1. That's why index starts 0. Isn't it? 1 plus 1, 2. I will get 2 colon. As I am appending colon here. Names of 1. What is names of 1? Second one, Zoo Park. It will get display. Zoo Park at which place? At 50 comma. What is this? Names of it will display second item. Y equal to y plus 25. Y equal to y plus 25 means already y value is 180. 180 plus that y is get incremented by 25. It means 5. 8 plus 2, 0, 1 or 205. Means what does it mean? This will get displayed 50 comma 205 position. Already 50 comma 180 position, Charminar is displayed. 50 comma 205 position. Your next item, let me say if you select Zoo Park, that will get displayed. It is simple. It is simple and straightforward. It is an application program. Application program means you will go to main method first. I am creating an object. If I create an object, automatically I will go to constructor. Where is my constructor? This is my constructor, list demo. This particular piece of code will get executed. I will call action performed. Here action performing means what? I am selecting the items from the list. Once if I action performed means it will go to, if I performing action means selecting the items. If I select the items, control will go to this particular one. Repaint will call paint method. After getting this paint method, this will be the output. Just see, if you want, you can see JAVS is list demo.java, and how can I run JAVA list demo? This is how can I say? Just this is again I am showing this output. Just see, here I have list from which I am selecting Zoo Park, Golconda Fort, Necklace Road, Shilparam. It is displaying this also. What is this? These are the what is this? These are the item numbers. As I told you, what happens? Your first item number is, let me say in this program, let me say 0. Salarjung Museum 0 index, and Charminar 1 index, Charminar, and 2 index Zoo Park. Zoo Park is 2, and Golconda Fort, let me say GF, and Necklace Road, let me say NR. This is 4th index. 5 Birla Mandir, let me say BM. 5, 6, I think 6 Shilparam. I missed some item. Anyway, this is the procedure to, these are the numbers. That's why. But of course, in program, I am adding 1 to display these numbers. 3, 4, 5. Even I am displaying the numbers. This is simple and a straightforward program. Anybody can understand. Let me demonstrate this program. What is my class name? My class name is list demo, isn't it? How can it be? Just let me execute this program. Let me copy this one, list demo. Yes, list demo. Let me go to this one, JAVAC dot Java, and let me say as it is an application program, let me say JAVA. This is just I made a mistake. It's not JAVAC. It must be JAVA, isn't it? Now just see this program. This is output. Just see the output. Here I have items, Salarjung Museum. Double click. If you keep double click, it will get selected. Golconda Fort. Just see Salarjung Museum is selected. If you want, you can make multiple selection. Just see, you are getting Golconda Fort. In that manner, you can select by double clicking. That I already discussed. What is the use of double click, isn't it? That events I discussed. Events. There are 2 types of events. Something like what is this? That events I already discussed. You can select the items by using double click or single click, isn't it? Double click for double clicks, and item events for, let me say, double click must be registered with action listener. Single click must be registered with there are two things, item listener, isn't it? Single click for item listener, double click for action listener. That's what I discussed. This program is simple and straightforward. Just go through this program. If you have any difficulty, please keep a comment. Thank you very much.